Henderson from WCCO TV, and it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend Ron Henderson, the Fitness King, presenting Motivation, one word to help change your life.
Welcome to Motivation. I'm Ron Henderson, a.k.a. the Fitness King. Let me say it again. I like the way that sounds, a.k.a. the Fitness King, with my guest today, Mr. MSkipper. Welcome to Motivation. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Ron?
Doing great. Pleasure to have you on. We're here to really talk about Toastmasters. You're involved with Toastmasters. But before we get into that, because a lot of people aren't even aware really what Toastmasters is all about.
Okay.
After the day, you're going to know what it's about. But before we get into that, can you tell me, or my audience, something about yourself that most people don't know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I can. I think I can. I turned 50 about 3 years ago. And somewhere around 3 years ago, so somewhere around that time, I guess I started doing some maybe a little challenging things. And one of the things that I did was I rappelled down the U.S. Bank Plaza building, downtown Minneapolis.
Wow.
And when I say rappelled, I mean like Batman and Robin, came down the rope on the outside of the building.
Wow. Now we got to get into that, okay? What made you do that?
I thought it would be something that was different.
Was it for charity or something?
It was. I'm on the local Boy Scout board.
Okay.
And one of the fundraisers we had was called the Double Dog Dare.
Okay.
And I was giving a report at a meeting, talking about the Double Dog Dare, and in my head I was thinking, wow, this would be a fantastic way for me to promote my business. I could wear my suit, which I wear to brand my business, and rappel down the building.
Wow.
So that was the impetus for me to.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago.
Are they having that event again?
No, they did it for 4 years and decided time to do something.
Folks at home, I got to tell you right now, I would love it if they did that event. I would love it because I'd love to go down and watch him do it. I would not be doing it.
Well, I have plenty of photographs, and of course, if it comes back, I'll make sure that I'll let you know about that.
Okay, so you got some photographs of it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, folks, hopefully, he'll send me the photographs, and you'll be able to check it out at the end of this show. I'd love to show some of those photographs because that is something I've seen on TV, and my courage is probably as high as the top of this building, maybe 30 feet.
Okay, okay. Well, this was 23 stories.
Yeah, I'm not into no heights.
Yeah.
Were you scared at all?
I actually did it twice. And the first time was not scared at all.
You see what he's doing now? He's rubbing it in because the Fitness King said he's scared. He said, I did it twice.
Did it 2 times. So the first time was great. It was almost like being on an amusement park ride. So
really?
You like those, roller coasters and what have you.
I don't like them.
So I came down, I got down to about the 8th floor.
Right.
And the rope got stuck.
Okay.
So I'm just like swinging on the 8th floor.
Right.
Like this, like I said, just like being on an amusement park ride. So that was a real, that was a fun first time I did it. Okay. Second time I did it was a little bit older, and I wasn't as in great shape as I was. I came off the edge.
Yep.
And I slammed into the wall.
Okay, you know what, folks? We're gonna move on to another subject. My heart is feeling it. No, I'm serious. We're moving on to another subject.
There were people down. You could see them pointing up, wondering what's going on. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking, man, am I crazy?
Right.
I should have just made a contribution and just taken the elevator down.
Yeah. I think he might be a little.
Well, I was asking myself when I slammed into the wall.
Right.
But I have now used that experience in speeches that I do.
Yep.
And there's one particular one that I call I'm going over the edge. And I use that experience to talk about sometimes the things that we really want to do, the dreams that we have. Sometimes we have to look over, and then we have to go over the edge. Can't be a bystander and just always say, I wish I had. Sometimes you got to take that first step.
Yeah, wish I would have, could have, should have, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good story. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So tell us about Toastmasters. Why is Mr. MSkipper involved in Toastmasters and your position? And just give people the history, because a lot of people aren't even aware of Toastmasters.
Sure. It's funny when people hear Toastmasters, one of the things they're asked is, is this like a cooking class or how to make toast? They say the number one thing that most of us are afraid of is public speaking.
Right.
That many of us would prefer to die before we stand up in front of a group. Probably a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but probably not too far away from that. My entire life, all the way through college, I was just petrified about speaking in front of people. Got my very first job working for the Boy Scouts, where I had to make presentations to families about the program.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to be able to pay my rent, I had to
Right, you have to
overcome
be able to do that.
my fear of public speaking. So as with anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with it. My dad one day gave me some advice, and he said, you ought to join Toastmasters.
So your dad told you, okay.
My dad was the first time I ever heard of
Okay, was he
Toastmasters.
involved in Toastmasters? Your dad?
That was kind of funny. I said, no, he wasn't even in Toastmasters. So I guess maybe he thought I really needed a lot of help with the speaking. And that's when he made that recommendation. So what Toastmasters is typically is a group of people, anywhere from 10 to 20 people that will meet on a weekly basis. And you will practice giving prepared speeches, as well as doing these things that are called table topics, where someone will call on you and you have 2 minutes to answer a question.
Okay, let me back up. So you
Yeah.
said, first of all, they're meeting and they're doing these speeches.
Yes.
They're practicing these speeches.
Yes.
So they're just starting with their group. How do they learn this? How do they learn any of this? How do they learn?
No, that's a great question. Toastmasters is an educational program.
Okay.
So there are manuals that have specific types of speeches that will focus on different areas for
Okay.
you.
So they have manuals that will actually help somebody just walking in off the street how to prepare their speeches.
Exactly.
Really? Okay.
In most cases, people that when they first join Toastmasters, it's because one, they have this fear of
Right.
speaking. Two, they in many cases they've had a supervisor said, here's an area you need to improve
Sure.
on, and then that's when they make the recommendation of going to Toastmasters.
Okay.
So like with anything, the more practice you do,
Right.
more you do something, more comfortable you become with
Right.
it, and then you get over the fear part of it.
Right.
And then you focus on how do I really hone my skills so that I can really engage the audience or the individuals that I'm speaking with. So different speeches might focus on your body language.
Right.
Some speeches will focus on how you organize what you're saying. You kind of break it up. When we were in school, we'd have to write stories or do book reports,
Sure.
opening and closing,
transition.
3 points
Yep.
in the middle. We learn how to go about doing that. And then one of the biggest things is eliminating those things that are called filler words.
Right.
Think about you're in a meeting and you listen to the person speaking. Chances are you're going to hear a lot of ums,
Right.
ahs, and those types of words that really you don't want in your speeches or in your conversation, because it takes away from the quality of what you're saying.
Right. And for people that may not know, how does it take away from the quality of their speech?
Well, people start focusing on all those filler words as opposed to listening to the content of what you're saying. One of the things about being in Toastmasters that's very helpful is that one person is assigned every single meeting where they count the number of times you use a filler word.
Okay, so they're going to tell me when I'm wrong?
They're going to tell you when you're wrong, and everybody else is going to hear it as well.
So let me ask you that. So somebody's coming in there. They're coming in there as a novice. They're walking in. First of all, I don't want to lose where we're at with that. But they walk in for the first time. What's it cost them to walk in there? Do you charge people to come there? How does that work?
There's no cost when you come in to visit.
Okay, when you come to visit. Okay.
And you can come 2, 3, 4, 5 times. There's no cost to you. You more or less are there. You're as an observer, and you can also participate when we do the table topics.
Okay. Okay.
Then you get the opportunity. We give you the opportunity at the end of the meeting to decide, hey, is this something that I want to do?
So it is. So it's free for a person to come initially.
Yeah, just to come. And I would highly recommend to everyone that has always heard of Toastmasters, you just had no idea what it was like.
Right.
They're all over the metro area, almost every day of the week, different times. I'd highly recommend going to visit a couple of those. And
How about if somebody's super sensitive? Now, you said that they critique you. So a person gets up and gives a speech, you say, man, you said, you said so, you said, you know what I mean? And that person, they're sitting there, they're kind of feeling crushed.
Sure.
Because they came there for confidence, and now they're like, I'm not sure if I'm even coming back. So how do you help those people out when they come to your group?
Well, one of the things that we always have and that we teach in Toastmasters is how to evaluate people.
Okay.
And one thing to keep in mind that everything that's learned at these meetings are transferable when you go to work.
Right. Okay.
So we teach people to use what is called the sandwich method. You start off with some positive things that happen during their presentation, during their speech. Then you give them some things that they can make some changes to that will take their presentation to the next level.
Yep.
So once again, words are important. So as opposed to saying, this is where you made a mistake or this is where you messed up, use encouraging words. You share those things. And then you end with some more positive things, which is no different if you're in a supervisory role at work.
Right.
You have to start off with something positive so people are willing to listen to you. So that when you share the things that they can improve on, they're more apt to listen to it and actually use those things. And then you end with some positive things.
Okay. Are there any age restrictions or age limits to join Toastmasters? I mean, do I have to be like certainly 20 years of age, or am I too old? I mean, I'm 65. Am I too old? I feel like it's spring. I feel like it's fitness game feels like a spring chicken. But am I too old?
Of course, you're not too old.
So there's no age.
18 years old.
Oh, so there is. You have to be 18.
Have to be 18. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are some smaller programs that we have, like youth leadership program, for those that are 18 and under can participate.
Okay. So 18. I have to be 18 years of age to join Toastmasters.
Correct.
But I was bouncing at 16. So why can't I come? I want to work on myself.
Well, one of the things, I guess, there's always a cutoff for as far as maturity. Maturity level is our thing. Okay. And so as soon as a person is 18.
So they never make any exceptions on that. It's just got to be 18, period.
Correct.
To get involved. Okay. But there's no age limit, so you could be 80 and still join.
You can be 80. You can be 100 plus. As long as you're wanting to come and participate, you can be a part of it.
Okay. And right now you're involved with the Toastmasters where?
In employment. It's called TikTokers. We meet on Saturday mornings from 9 o'clock to 10:30 at Plymouth City Hall.
Okay.
And we're now one of the largest Toastmasters clubs that's in our territory or
and
district.
how many people would that be when you say large?
We're right at 38, 39 members that are in our club. So on average, we'll have 20 to 25 people at our meetings. Almost every single meeting, we'll always have one or two visitors that are coming to check out to find out what Toastmasters is about. Many of them will also join.
Okay. And you're the president, I believe, of this one, right?
I am the president through the end of June.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what have you learned yourself from being in Toastmasters? And I'm asking this because I also want to find out how you use this with your business, because I also know that you have your own business. So what did you learn from Toastmasters, and share with us how it helped you so that people get an understanding that you come to Toastmasters, you're going to get some valuable stuff that's really can enhance and help you.
Well, I mean, Toastmasters has helped me in a number of different ways. I first got into Toastmasters in 1999. I was in for about three years. Okay. As I shared the whole confidence level, because I had to stand up and give presentations, that helped alone tremendously. Then I got out, and didn't get back in until about three.
And why did you
years
get
ago.
out? Why did you get out?
Well, I had a baby.
Okay, oh, good excuse.
Had a baby and just thought I was just too busy with work and what have you. And 3 years ago is when I got back in. And one of the reasons I got back in, I had always been saying I would love to be an inspirational speaker. And then I asked myself, so what are you doing about it?
What are you doing about it?
And my answer was nothing. So I thought the first step was to get back into Toastmasters, to continue to improve my speaking skills. And so I've been participating in competitions each year. So this will be the third year that I'm in a speech competition.
And you just won something, didn't you?
I did. I just won what is called Division B, where I was competing against 6 other contestants that won in their areas for the international speech competition. So I actually won was the next level, which is the district. There's a total of 6 levels. And so I made it all the way up to the 4th one, which is called the district, which covered most of Minnesota and about half of Ontario. Won that in 2017. Last year I competed, came in 2nd place. So this year, of course, my plan is to get back in, get 1st place, and then hopefully be able to go on to the finals, which is going to be in December. But got to take things one step at a time.
One step at a time, but you keep doing it, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep learning.
Exactly. And as I said, it just builds up your confidence level. One of the things, as I said, with Toastmasters, it just has helped me to be able to have the confidence, to be able to work on using the right types of words.
Exactly. Speak better, enunciate your words better, all that.
Exactly. You know, to use words that actually paint pictures for people. And it has also helped, I believe, with leadership skills. Both when I worked for someone, and I was a fundraiser before I started my business. Once again, it helped me with my communication, my speaking skills.
Yeah.
But it also has helped me become a better listener. Because communication isn't just talking.
Right.
Communication is also, listening to what other people are saying. And I think it has helped me in that area as well.
So, what has it done for your business? And first of all, what is your business?
I have a small cleaning business, which is called MAS Office Cleaners, and we focus on the Maple Grove and surrounding areas. And my ideal customer is what I call family, which is an acronym.
Okay.
So those that are in financial, accounting, mortgage, insurance, legal, and then the Y, which is for you, a business that is anywhere from 1 to 10 people that work out of that office. Probably would be a good referral for our company.
Okay. And how has Toastmasters helped you in your business?
One of the things that helps as far as just standing out is having strong communication skills. So being able to have a very succinct conversation with someone about my company. Once again, not all the filler words.
Right.
Being able to get right to the point in order to catch the person.
Right, because you haven't used one soul today.
I hope not. Wouldn't that be terrible? The Toastmaster guy had 12 ons. Yeah.
No. So it does something. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business just over seven years.
And where do most of your clients come from for your business?
My customers come primarily from the Maple Grove area.
Okay.
And the way I get most of my customers, I'm in an organization that's called Business Network International.
Oh, yeah.
Face-to-face marketing is the key way that I've grown my business. Over half of my business has been for me doing the face-to-face marketing. And the rest comes, I've identified about 200 companies that I want to be my customers.
Sure.
And I keep in contact with them by dropping off newsletters, those kinds of things. And about 40% of my business has come from people responding from those.
Okay.
And that's how I
Shout
become.
outs. So
Exactly.
How do you guys stay out there? Because there's so many people with cleaning services.
Yeah.
So what makes your company different and better? I'm curious about it.
I think that's a great question. When I decided to do this, did my research, there's over 700 companies, people out there doing some type of cleaning in the metro area. One of the reasons for that is the entry is so low, as far as the investment to get started. This is a bit of an exaggeration, but not too much of an exaggeration. If you have a bucket, a mop, and a broom, you could get started in the business. So which means that you're competing against a lot of people because of that. So I asked myself that same question: how is it going to help myself to stand out from everyone else? And the way that I do it is through marketing. The way that I'm dressed today, this is how I brand myself: the black suit, the striped tie, so that when people have conversations with me, when they see me at networking events, they remember me.
Right.
I've been out at places, and I remember one time I was walking out of a building in Brooklyn Park, and a woman walked up to me. I didn't recognize this woman at all. She said, "You're that cleaning guy, aren't you?"
Right, okay.
Because I had on that outfit. So I put a big emphasis on appearance. Because if you think about it, that's what my business is to help businesses look professional, so that when people walk in right away, they're just thinking, wow, this is a very professional business. If you walk into an office and there's cobwebs in the entryway, or dust bunnies bouncing on the desk, you start focusing on those things, and then you start wondering, wow, do they really pay attention to detail? So are they going to pay attention to the details of my particular service? So being able to differentiate yourself by branding is a big part. Little things like my business card. It has the suit and tie on the business card. When I hand out my business cards, I always hear people say, they spend time, that becomes a conversational piece. For my customers, building relationships with my customers is a big thing as well. When great things happen for my customers, I'll take in a chocolate cake just to say, hey, congratulations.
Chocolate cake?
A chocolate cake.
My birthday is May 15th. And I like Harvey Wallbaker cake. Folks, you heard him. And I like Harvey Wallmaker.
Consider here.
And it's a treat. You heard him. You heard him. See, I'm putting him on the spot.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Well, you know, that's nice because we had somebody move in my office. I've been at the studio for probably 20 years now. And I thought about bringing them flowers, and they got mad because my door opened to their door, and they were yelling and screaming. So that's another story. I got to leave that one to God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But,
exactly.
But I think it's good that you're thinking about your clients. So, if somebody wanted to actually get a hold of them, do you have a number you could just give out to them because they're watching Motivation?
Yes. To get a hold of us here at MAS Office Cleaners, just dial 612-965-0664, and you will get me directly.
Okay, and online, what is it again online?
Online, it's www.masofficecleaners.com.
Right, okay, so that's good. So the next thing coming up for you guys would be, because I think you mentioned something before we started the show, is there a party or something coming on for Toastmasters?
Yes.
Inviting to? What's that all about?
We are having an open house on April the 13th, which is a Saturday morning, from 9 o'clock until 10:30.
Okay.
So if you've wondered what exactly is Toastmasters, how does it feel, that's a great day to come, be an observer. If you would like to participate, you can. If you prefer not to, that's okay as well. We'll have food there, give you an opportunity to meet our members.
Okay, what kind of food?
All kinds of food. You have to come to find out what kind though.
Men always say, what kind of food? Women just say, okay, as long as they have some cheese and some crackers. Men say, what kind of food are you having?
There's some cheese and crackers, and there will be some meat as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a great opportunity for a person to come and really find out, okay, what is it like?
Okay.
We have a very, very diverse group of members that are in our club. Members that are coming from all over the globe.
Right.
You know, India, China, Japan, Africa, a nice mix. Russia.
Right.
We have a member that's from Germany that's in our group. So it's really interesting the dynamics and the stories that are told, because most of our speeches tend to be about experiences that we've had in our lives. So it's a really fun environment to come.
Right.
And as you're learning, you're picking, or as you're laughing, you're picking up all these different skills.
You're picking up stuff,
Exactly.
Yep. So you've been president for how long now?
Since July the 1st. So
Okay.
our terms are 1 year terms.
Okay. So what have you learned yourself at Toastmasters in the last year that's maybe different from what you knew, let's say 2 years ago?
That's a good question. Well, one of the things that I know,
You learn not to accept the job as president. It's a lot of work. No.
Actually, that job has been a lot of fun being the president. One of the things that I have learned is that a lot of people have heard the term or the name Toastmasters,
Right.
but they have no idea what it's like.
What's like, yes.
So one of the big emphasis that I have put on this term is really reaching out into the Plymouth community. Because we really like for the city to, when they say that they need to have an opportunity to, let's say, improve skills of employees or what have you, that will be one of the first organizations that they think of. So some of the things that we've done this year is participated in the city parade.
Okay.
Have put an article in the newspaper, the Plymouth newspaper, called "How to Speak Better Than Your CEO."
Okay.
So we'll be doing those periodically over the time. So doing more outreach type programs to bring some more name awareness to Toastmasters.
Yeah.
One of the things I found is in conversations with people, I'll mention, well, you know, on Saturday I have to go to my Toastmasters meeting. 80% of the people that I have those kinds of conversations with, the first things that they'll say to me, what is Toastmasters? Or, you know what, I have been thinking about that.
Right.
I need to go visit. Then I just invite them to come and be my guest.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So I would say anyone that's trying to overcome their fear, or they have overcome it, but now they want to really improve the quality of their speaking.
Okay, the delivery,
Toastmasters is a fantastic way.
Yes, because, you know, it's interesting because I listen to so many ministers that I can't believe how many times, their whole conversation. And it really just takes away from, in fact, I wasn't a minister, but last week I was actually counting. I was at a meeting, and I counted one of the speakers probably did 60 that was speaking at last week's meeting that I went to on a Saturday morning. And it was so many that I stopped counting. And that happens when you're learning, but that's why I think Toastmasters is really important for people, because it helps you look at those things. And then if you work on them, you're going to see all of a sudden now it's not 60 times. You're saying, now it's 20. Now it's not 20, it's 10. Now it's not 10. Then you get to the point, you get done speaking somewhere, and you can say to yourself, you know exactly how many others that you had.
Yes.
Because you're more mindful.
Yeah.